Okay, and we're back. So now I got the equipment. This is all you'll really need. The 4.1 or 5.0 or 6.0, whichever is cheapest, and that you can use, of course. So now for spells, very important, we need Cartwheel, which is level 3. We need Stun Run for the mobility. Invis, less damage, Wanderlust, block. So now for a quick rundown, when, or if, well I should say when, not if, but when you do get dismounted, you'll get a cleanse as soon as you do to get dismounted, and upon receiving the cleanse, you'll use E to quickly gain distance without damaging any enemies. You'll activate Stun Run and Cartwheel when you're about to get hit, but make sure to not hit any enemies again, because if you use any displacement spells or damage any enemies, you'll get Outlaw status and you won't be able to change zones, and it'll show up here if that happens. And so just to recap, once you get dismounted, you'll get the cleanse, you'll use E to gain separation, activate Stun Run, do that, and if you do get hit or damaged during the cartwheel, you'll get additional speed, and at the end of that, you'll be activating Wanderlust once you've made sure to gain, at least some degree of separation, so that they can't use the Fiend Cowl on you and remove the Wanderlust buff. And if you use all this correctly, and with a bit of luck, and as long as the enemy gankers aren't using a double-bladed staff, you'll have enough time to get a degree of separation and be able to remount when you're able to mount again. And then you get up and continue your journey, basically. And the other items, we have the Pork Omelet for reduced cooldown, and Major Energy Potion, since especially if you have low spec, you'll be using a lot of energy when you use your E, W, to gain distance. So since that's out of the way, I'll just do a quick run to set the Black Zone home. And for that, we're going to be checking the clock here, UTC 2:35. Let me look here, prime time. So currently, white zones here and here are in prime time, and yellow will be in prime time at 3 UTC. And you can enable this filter from the bar up here, swap that to prime time. And this is the route we'll be taking. This portal, I forget the name, High Tree Portal North, High Tree Step, High Tree Pass, Mutton Tundra, Giant Wheel Dale, Giant Wheel Woods, and Merlin's Rest. And let's see, yeah, none of these zones are in prime time, so there's a very small chance we'd ever run into a Zerg. So we'll be fine just using this, our basic travel / escape gear. Before going in, I'm going to pop the omelet for the reduced cooldowns. High Tree Portal North, enter. We take the Invis Shrine there to travel unmolested from the portal zone. And if you're running corrupted dungeons, you'd also pop that and then go looking for corrupted dungeons. Unless you were running them in red zone. And so there is a fight going on at that castle, at that outpost there. So we're definitely going to avoid that. And try not to get dismounted or tagged by any mobs. And obviously we don't want to be going on the roads, for obvious reasons. Yeah, and the most important thing is to never lose your gallop by never getting tagged by mobs in the first place. Crap. Yeah, that was my mistake. And of course, depending on the prime time zone or time of day, or if there's any zergs or whatever, you might want to be adjusting the route. But in general, it's the same idea. Traveling through the longer route, through the less traveled areas, just to avoid even running into any other players in the first place. Especially if you're using something like a cheap tier 3 horse. We're halfway there. Probably won't run into anyone, but if we do, we'll have our travel/escape gear on, and have a very good chance of escaping. And very important, if you ever do see a dismounted name at the edge of your screen, and you can tell if a name is dismounted because it'll only have 2 health bars and no mount health bar, then you immediately turn around the other way. And as long as you do that, there's no way that that specific person who was dismounted will be able to mount up and catch up to you. Yeah, and again, like before, this is the territory farmland and the red square. Just a good idea to steer clear of that. Not really because the bot guards are really particularly dangerous, but just in case there's any significant amount of players. Yeah, and you definitely do not want the chat, spamming your screen and distracting you when you're traveling solo and need to be able to focus and concentrate. That's why we swapped to this one, the say, and death. So the only things that'll show up here is yourself or other people within 3 screens or so using the say, and or people dying or committing suicide. Okay, and we're here. Just a quick, easy run. Didn't even see anyone. And then now that you're here, it's extremely important. Go to this board right here. Click it. Select yes. Select it. Make select again. Then it'll say that. And now make sure it's selected. Yep. Set as your home. And then when you do have no items on, after you store your stuff in the chest, you can use the travel planner to travel to islands, cities, wherever you want to go, really. And then you can grab your gear, get geared up, all that fun stuff. And then you'll be able to fast travel to Merlin's Rest, as long as it is set to your home. And it's just very important to make sure that's set as your home, otherwise you'll have to run through the portal again to set it again. But when you're out of the black zone, up here it'll say using a realm gate will remove your current home location. So the realm gate, that's any of the cities: Bridgewatch, Martlock, Thetford, Fort Storling, Limhurst. When you go into the Conqueror's Hall and use that portal, that realm gate, to travel to the black zone. A quick note, you can still do supply runs out of the black zone without losing your home. You can load up stuff, travel to the realm gate in the black zone, and then go to Limhurst, and you'll still keep your home, or whichever other portal or rest. And then also, when you die, you'll have the option to respawn at home, and you just choose that. And if you're just getting started, you'd probably want to buy your solo dungeon grinding kit, like Great Axe, Scholar Cowl, that fun stuff, and then start doing solo random dungeons, SRDS, out of tier 5 or tier 6, if you have the correct Reaver level. If you do have the correct Reaver level, like tier 7, there's no reason to not go to tier 7 zones right away, like Dry Basin Oasis, basically any tier 7 zone, as long as you're a couple zones away and not in prime time zone, your odds of even seeing someone is fairly low. But yep, that should be all there is to it. Thanks for watching this quick, helpful video, and hope it helps. Oh, one last thing. Just as a follow-up to the previous clip, just to show how I have it set on my other character. Let me swap screens real quick. There we go. So right here, these are my chat tabs: English, say, party, and so this is just to give you an idea of how it'll actually look. Like the say, I have just say, party and say, I have say, whisper, and party, except of course I'm not in a party, so it's not showing up. Guild, just guild. Combat, for combat effects, just so I can keep track and know what's going on. And blank, this is blank for when I'm doing corrupted dungeons. And fame and silver, another party tab, and system, and this will have just your system. So for example, if you want to check something with a system like for example, say you want to check the rules, then you'll check your system chat tab. If you want to check all options, /?/ That'll show all the commands right here. Anyhow, that wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.